John, welcome to the Harvey Nash Business Breakfast at the Savoy Hotel, London. Today you'll be speaking about Employee Relations 3.0. Could you just tell me a little bit more about what that means?
When we think about the web, we know that it's seamless, but every now and again it seems to have moved on a whole paradigm. I think that's what's happened with British employee relations. 1.0 to 2.0, we know when that shift happened, it was Mrs. Thatcher. It wasn't just changes to the legal framework, it was actually the end of big manufacturing, old style in Britain, and the new service industries replacing it. But there was a seismic shift in the labour market in the 80s that everybody could recognise. I think the same thing's happening again, but this time it's a bit more subtle. What happened in the recession was that all of a sudden, a decade of fine words about family-friendly policies came to complete fruition because businesses needed employees to work in a different way. Short hours, take a cut in pay to keep a job, and workers were prepared to do it because they were used to working flexibly. That's Employee Relations 3.0.
In the recent CBI Harvey Nash Employment Trend Survey, it's shown that the employment engagement has been critical during the recession, but more recently that engagement has reduced a little. Now that the economy conditions are improving, what are the risks employers face around employee engagement, and what do they need to do to maintain this strong relationship?
Employee engagement's like health and safety. It's like all the important things in a business. It's a hardy perennial. Chief executives have to keep at it and at it and at it. It's eternal vigilance. It's easier to do that in difficult times than it is in better times. Because in difficult times, mother is the necessity of invention. We get things done. In good times, it's harder to keep the senior business team focused on employee relations as a priority. But it remains a priority because those very same staff who went the extra mile for their business during the hard times, actually they're exhausted, they're tired, they've had a couple of years of low pay rises or no pay rises, covering for vacancies that couldn't be filled. Actually, when things begin to pick up, when the business needs to jump a gear because customers are demanding it, that's when you need really good employee relations.
Are we looking at a new era of industrial disputes?
I don't think we are looking at an era of industrial disputes over the next couple of years. In the private sector, I think we've gone beyond that. I think the relationship between employers and their workforce colleagues is now natural and closer. And to the extent there are frustrations, staff have no problem with walking up to the boss and saying, "You are getting it wrong." In the public sector, we've got to learn the lesson of that. In the public sector, we've got to get right what the private sector got right at the middle of the recession, which is that public sector managers have got to go that extra mile to explain to public sector workers why change is inevitable and take those people with them.
John Cridland, thank you very much.